First of all, it's a real big honor to interview you, to talk to you, Paul. And I got to tell you, I am not a professional interviewer, but I'm curious. So I'll just ask you, some things.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, I assume sometime in the 60s. Set the stage. When did you first hear the word meditation, and what did you make of it?
It was actually George Harrison's wife, Patty, who had heard that Maharishi was coming to town. And she said we should all go. It was one of those things. And I was personally not in a good place. I think, just overdoing it in the 60s. So I was just not very sort of centered. And I was looking for something. I think we all were. So we heard that Maharishi was going to have a meeting and give a lecture. So that was the first time I'd heard about meditation. But we'd actually seen him when we were kids growing up in Liverpool. Because, as you know, he went around the world 7 times to spread his message. And he was on TV. And we remembered this giggly little guy. And we thought, we loved him. Mm-hmm. We just said, he's so cool, And he was just on TV and he was giving an interview. And he would giggle, that fabulous laugh of his. Mm-hmm. And he was very entertaining and very attractive. So we all said, that's that guy. But then I say, he was giving a lecture.
Where was it?
In London.
Do you remember the place?
I don't remember it. I think it was in Kensington, Chelsea or somewhere. But so that was the first time I heard about it, and we all went along to listen.
Uh-huh. And in the talk, what feeling came over you about what he was saying, his message?
It was very interesting. It was very calming, and it seemed like something that was worth trying. He put it very well. He made it seem simple. He made it seem very attractive. And so I think we were all just sold. And I say his personality was a lot to do with Maharishi, I think you'd seen other people who were maybe a little more serious, which wasn't a bad thing, but he put humor. But he had a very infectious sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So I think that was very attractive to us. Mm-hmm. It was a great message. It was something I think we felt we needed, but put over in this way, it was very attractive.
Did Maharishi personally teach you?
Yes, so what happened then, we went to Bangor in Wales, and we attended a little seminar there. And as you know, there were always lots of flowers around Maharishi. So it was always a very, nature was very involved. You got the feeling, he often used to carry the flowers. So it was this feeling of connection with nature that was very grounding. And then eventually we went out to Rishikesh with him, which was more sustained.
How long had you been meditating when you went to Rishikesh?
I'm not sure of the exact timings because it was 40 years ago, but I would say a month or so.
Uh-huh.
A month, roughly that.
And when you got to Rishikesh, you went to the ashram, and what was the routine like? What was the experience like in Rishikesh?
It was great. It was very straightforward, very simple. The whole place was very simple. There was nothing fancy about it. You would just wake up, you would then go for breakfast in the morning, a light breakfast. You just socialize a bit with the other members and just get to know each other. And then you would go back for your morning meditation. You'd go back to your room. And we had little chalets kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Each of us had little rooms, which were very simple but adequate. And you would just sit and you would meditate. And then there was lunch. And you'd socialize and chat and stuff. And then you'd meditate in the afternoons. Sometimes Maharishi would have a meeting every so often with you. And you could talk to him about your experiences, and he would, you know, just help, guide you. And then in the evening, there was a kind of question and answer session, which was slightly more formal. That was in a hall. And we would all just be in there, all the students, and Maharishi would come on and talk. And then he would take questions. He would just listen about people's experiences. And that was the sort of thing that happened each day.
Did you write, how many songs did you write in Rishikesh, do you think?
We wrote quite a few between us. Yeah, we had some good inspiration. And, you know, in the times when we weren't meditating, we had our guitars with us.
Right.
So we would do quite a little bit of writing. It was inspirational.
Yeah.
It wasn't all about meditation. It was just you felt good. But yeah, there were some very blissful moments. I remember one in particular when I'd been meditating for a little while and I'd got to a really good place. And I remember the feeling was that I was a feather. I felt like I actually was a feather floating over a hot air pipe. And it was a very nice feeling. And I remember that vividly. And I reported that to Maharishi, and he giggled, "Yes, this is good."
Fantastic.
Such a joy.
Fantastic. And okay, so what are you doing here in New York, and what are your thoughts on the now?
The idea of what you're doing, of putting this into schools, I think is a fabulous thing, because I think it's all very well to talk about it, but the thing is, when you actually put it in the mainstream, I think that's very important. I think that's the foot in the door, because then people can then say, in Detroit, where the David Lynch Foundation has put the program into schools, the results are these. And I think this is what people need. They don't need high-minded talk so much as results. And so for you to be able to say the kids love it, the kids in the West Bank love it, the kids in Brazil love it, and you're actually getting results. To me, it's like a seed that it's for sure if you take a great seed, an acorn, and you don't put it in the ground, it's pretty guaranteed you won't get an oak tree. But if you put it in the ground, there's a very good chance you'll get an oak tree. And I think that seems to me what you're doing. So that's what I love about what we're involved in now. And so that's why I was so happy to do the concert. It's very inspiring.
So beautiful, Paul, that you're doing this concert and you know, going in support of this. And everybody really appreciates it. And it's going to send the most positive message to the world and really help things. So bless your heart, man.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for it. You're doing it. Thank you very much.
You're sure helping us.
Yeah, no, it's a great pleasure. I love it.
Thanks, Paul.